I want you to stop what you're doing and open your Shopify admin, go to apps, and look at your list. I'm willing to bet that right now, today, you have at least 3 apps installed that are either slowing your store down, charging you for something that Shopify already does natively, or doing the exact same thing as maybe another app that you are already paying for. It's not just wasted money, it's also just bloating up your website. It's killing your speed. It's making pages load very slowly. It's killing conversion. Some of these apps are essentially just injecting code into your storefront, and a lot of times it's just working against you, right? It's like talking about maybe pop-ups firing at the wrong time, widgets stacking on top of each other. There could be like third-party scripts, just adding 2, 3, even 4 seconds on your overall load time for each page. We do website audits on clothing brand stores every single week, and one of the most common things that we find, honestly even more common than having a bad product page, it's an app stack that's just eating your store alive. So today I'm going to walk you through the apps that I see all the time that just, they need to go. And I'll tell you what to replace them with, or whether you need to actually replace them at all. So let's get into it. Hey, I'm Christian Pignon from Bid Branding. We work specifically with clothing brands and boutiques on Shopify. We do store builds, CRO audits, conversion optimization. We also run the OSO. It's a membership community of, I guess at this point, I would say active, maybe 300-400 plus Shopify clothing brand owners. All right, let me start by saying that every app that you install is a trade, right? You're either trading page speed, potential conflicts, monthly fees for a feature, for something that you need or want on your website. That trade only makes sense if the feature is doing something Shopify can't do natively. It's something that you actually need, something that you can maybe measure some ROI on. And if any app fails that test, I would say delete. Even if it was free to install, free apps, they still run code on your storefront. So the first delete is going to be Overbuilt page builders. I'm talking about the page builder app, the ones that promise you like the drag and drop everything, just pixel perfect layouts, like the whole thing. The problem is that 2026, Shopify's native theme editor is genuinely really good. Dawn and Horizon theme is fast, it's mobile optimized, it's super flexible. I mean, it's flexible enough that the vast majority of clothing brand stores will not need anything beyond what the theme kind of gives you. When you layer a third-party like page builder on top of that, you're adding a massive amount of JavaScript, CSS to every single page. I mean, I've seen stores go from like a 45 page speed to 80 by just removing that page builder apps and rebuilding things natively with the theme editor. And that's literally not a small improvement. That's like a 10-20% conversion rate swing on mobile, where 72% of your traffic is usually coming from. Now, if you have highly custom landing pages that genuinely like need functionality the theme editor just can't do, like fine, right? That may be a trade worth making. But if you install a page builder because you thought that it looked cool, or like the themes that were provided did not have the right look and feel to them, I think you need to remove that and really look back again at the themes. And again, Shopify offers free themes like the Dawn theme of the Horizon that you can do some really cool things with. And actually, I did a video not too long ago. You can probably find it in our channel where we go and we make deep edits to a store on Horizon with Claude code. So not only can you remove that page builder, now you can just use Claude code to potentially make the changes or have that look and feel that you've always wanted and you just didn't know how to do because maybe you needed some tweaking of the back end code. So again, the final verdict here is delete unless you maybe have something custom, some custom page that genuinely requires it. And the solution here will be rebuild it with a native theme. And again, I mentioned Dawn and Horizon, but you could go with a paid theme. There's some really, really good options out there that will get you something that looks very unique and sophisticated, maybe luxurious and premium if you wanted to, without, again, relying on that third-party app. Delete number 2 is going to be spin to win pop-up apps. Yeah, spin to win. It's like that, that little gamified email wheel that you see, and some of you just love this thing. And it could maybe have a little bit of a better, conversion rate, but I don't know. It's one of those things where, for clothing brands specifically, I think you probably worked very hard, right, to build this certain brand aesthetic, maybe premium photos, maybe a clean homepage, intentional design, right? You've been following our videos and making some of these changes to your store. And then the first thing that a new visitor sees is kind of like this carnival wheel going around, asking if they want to spin for 10% off. Like it could work, right? It could work for if you are going to be a coupon-driven brand. It may work for maybe some general merchandise type stores, but I think it actively undermines premium brand positioning, which is where most successful clothing boutiques are trying to live. You can't charge $120 for a dress and open with a game show wheel, right? The difference there is very stark. And I do think beyond that brand damage, most standalone spin to win apps are also very heavy. They inject a lot of code. You're paying for that separate functionality for just the pop-up tool. And then after the fact, then you have to send that email to probably Klaviyo or maybe Shopify messaging. So it's just a third-party thing that doesn't add too much. I don't know. I think the replace here, or what I would suggest, is literally just using Klaviyo's native pop-up forms. And I think even Klaviyo now has the spin the wheel, unfortunately. But just if you're already using, more than likely, you're already using Klaviyo, then use the same ecosystem to build your pop-up. Don't have another app just to get something that it's a little bit gimmicky on top of everything. So again, the final verdict here is delete, plain and simple. I think replace it with a clean Klaviyo pop-up that actually matches your brand. Delete number 3. This is the one that I've actually seen firsthand multiple times, and it's the duplicate review apps. And it sounds very obvious sometimes, and it's still weird that I keep seeing it. It's stores that are running I've seen it maybe once, where they have 3 different reviews apps just simultaneously. And you may be asking, how does this actually happen? Well, you maybe install Judge Me when you launch, and then 6 months later, you read that maybe Looks it's better for photo reviews, right? So you install Looks. And now you're sending review requests via email to every customer twice. And then your product pages have 2 review widgets, maybe stacking on top of each other, and you're paying for both. You don't want to do that. This is probably going to kill trust instead of actually building it, which is what a review app should do. Customers are going to see inconsistency in terms of star counts between the 2 widgets. The page is obviously going to take longer to load. You're spending money twice. Just pick one, commit. I would say for most stores out there, most clothing brands, Judge Me will do everything that you would need. They have an awesome free plan, and their paid plan is actually called the Awesome Plan, which is funny. But their Awesome Plan is $15 a month or something like that, and it's not a huge thing. And Judge Me has, as of recently, changed a lot of things in their backend to sort of get up to speed with customizations within their widgets, with the ability to do coupons for customers who want to leave a review with a picture or with a video. All things that in the past you probably maybe couldn't do, but now with Judge Me you can do all these things, and it's pretty much a really, really good reviews app, and they allow you to do some really good customization. And I would also say their customer support is absolutely amazing. Anytime that we have any questions or any issues, they respond quickly, and they make changes on our websites very quickly, so it's absolutely great. So again, duplicate apps. I would say while you're at it and while you're checking, see if there's any other old apps out there that maybe have been discontinued, or maybe you, again, installed it when you first opened your website, and now you haven't necessarily done a full audit, which we'll talk towards the end of this video on how to do that. You just know that all these apps, even though you may not be using them, right? That's the thing, you install them, but you may not be using them. There's still code in the back end of your store being run. There may be emails being sent to customers that you don't even know about, right? My suggestion here is delete all the apps that are functioning that are doing the same thing, right? So if you have multiple reviews apps, make sure that you delete, you just keep one. Delete number 4, it's gonna be the one trick free shipping bar app. Or there are some other apps out there that are also kind of like that, that one trick app. It's the only feature they have. Obviously, a free shipping bar is generally useful conversion tool. For clothing brands, setting that threshold of either 75 to like 100 and showing customers how close they are to hitting that threshold to get free shipping, absolutely, it moves AOV for sure. But you don't need a dedicated app for it. I would say most modern Shopify themes right now have that announcement bar functionality built in. And if it's not in the announcement bar, a lot of them, I would say majority of them, if you're paying for a premium theme, they will have that functionality in the drawer cart. So right there within the cart, it actually shows the progress, which is even better. I think that the one bar that shows at the very top, these apps are just not so good. So again, if you have a standalone app that does nothing except for show a free shipping bar, it's adding another script to the storefront. I think that's a bad trade. You're adding page weight for a feature that you may already have built in within your theme. So my suggestion there is go to your theme settings, look for cart, and see if the cart actually handles that already. Now, if your theme doesn't do this, my suggestion here is to try to consolidate. Find one app that handles maybe the cart, maybe it can handle upsells, and it can do the free shipping threshold messaging, maybe all within the cart. So really, you're looking at maybe something like Upcart, or a Monster Cart Upsell. 2 great apps that combine several things, but it has that free shipping threshold functionality built in within it. So don't get an app that just does that one thing and it doesn't really do that one thing really well. So again, the verdict here is to delete any standalone free shipping bar apps, consolidate into potentially some kind of cart app, or again, something that maybe gives you some other features, maybe some upsell features and things like that. The delete number 5 is going to be social proof notification pop-up. You've seen these. I mean, they're on the bottom left corner. It says Jennifer from Austin just purchased the linen shirt, right? It's a little notification. It pops up every 30 seconds. I think these worked probably really well back in 2018. In 2026, your customers, they've been trained to essentially ignore them. Maybe even worse, they recognize them as fake, which you don't want that. I think a lot of stores use a lot of stores use the demo data. So they're not even switching to actual real orders for one. So this Jennifer who bought from Austin, that was maybe 4 years ago and it's still technically showing up there. I think the apps that do this, like this FOMO proof, social proof apps, they're almost universally very heavy apps. If it is truly a recognizing recent orders, I mean, it needs real-time notification script pinging to a server constantly to try to get that data, even when like no orders are coming in. I think if you want social proof on your product pages, use real photo reviews through something like Judge Me. Even less than that, I've told people before, like your theme more than likely right now has a multi-column section or some kind of gallery section. If you already curated photos from customers, like put them in a nice gallery right there within your product page. That's being more authentic and showing more authentic social proof that will actually convert. I think a little, pinging notification here from 2018, at the end, it's just going to be noise. It's just going to be more noise that you don't want. And the verdict here is going to be definitely delete and replace with some real user-generated content and some photo reviews. And again, with the photo reviews, you can always incentivize customers to leave you some photos or videos through Judge Me with their awesome plan, and just give them a discount if they do complete that auction, if they do complete that action. All right, this one I feel strongly about. I think delete number 6 is this category of apps that promise to fix everything SEO related. They auto-generate meta descriptions, they bulk update alt tags, they fix broken links, just everything on autopilot. Set it and forget it. Just pay us $50 a month for this privilege. Usually it's not that easy. SEO is one of those things that it's a very complex thing, and it involves a lot of different things. You know, there's the technical side of SEO, there's local SEO, there's backlinks. There's so many things that you have to do with SEO in order to sort of like play by their rules, and that's where these apps get you, right? They promise you a lot of different things, and they'll fix all these things SEO related. And Shopify's SEO foundation is solid. You know, it's not the best, but it's pretty solid. You get clean URLs, you get automatic sitemaps, you get canonical tags. Your themes are, 95% mobile optimized. I think what it doesn't do automatically, right, is maybe write good meta descriptions, title tags. But more than likely, neither does this app, probably. When these apps like auto-generate these, they're just pulling from your actual product titles and spitting out generic text. It's not SEO. That's kind of like the appearance of SEO, right? Like on paper, yeah, it looks okay, but is it actually providing results? Probably not. I think a bad thing about these apps too is like they do tend to make bulk changes across your entire store that are really hard to reverse or audit once it's done. And I've seen stores with SEO apps that rewrote hundreds and hundreds of meta titles and to be actually worse than they had before. I think real SEO for clothing brands, it's good product titles that match search intent. I think manually written meta descriptions for some of your top 20 pages, I would say, some sort of blog strategy, and a fast page speed. None of that technically requires a monthly app subscription. Maybe some Claude, maybe some ChatGPT, right, to help with the writing of some of the content. But a lot of these are things that you should and could be doing on your own. I think if you want to spend money on some kind of SEO tool, what I would suggest is something outside of the App Store, something like SEMrush or Ahrefs. It's not a Shopify app, and it doesn't necessarily run on autopilot, but these are the tools that could help you find keywords, come up with the content, analyze, and give you the metrics that you need to actually track when it comes to SEO. So the verdict here is to delete any auto, end-all be-all SEO apps and do some real work manually so you can figure out what are your top pages and start working to fix your top pages. Now, I told you I was gonna tell you how to do a quick audit, and this is what I wanna do here. So let me show you just a very quick app audit on Shopify and what I would do if you're looking at what to delete from your app list with some real life scenarios in here. Let's get into it. All right, so step one is gonna be looking at the apps here is one thing. The thing about looking at these apps and trying to figure out what you're using, what you're not using, it could be a little bit hard. So my suggestion would be to go to settings, and then in here you can go to apps, and at least this will give you a better indication of some of the apps that may have some usage fees, some that you're maybe paying actual monthly amounts. The reason being you may be paying for stuff that you don't even know, because Shopify automatically bundles everything into just one billing once a month. So it can be a little bit unclear, right, on which apps you're actually paying for. So just know that even from here, you can actually click on those three dots and click uninstall. So you can do the audit, go through each of these apps, see if you're actually using them, and uninstall them from right here. The next thing that I want you to do is go to pagespeed.web.dev. This will take you to Google's tool, essentially, to test your store. I would run multiple tests. I would run a test on your homepage, on your maybe most popular collection page, and then a couple of your most popular products. And this will give you it will give you a score, and it's going to be just a good baseline. Right, now as it stands right now, right, maybe with you've made a list, right, of all the apps that you're thinking about deleting. And then you have your baseline on, the speed and performance of your store. And then really, after getting that baseline, what I would do is then kind of going one by one here, opening the actual app, asking like, does this actually generate revenue? Does it retain customers? Does it build trust? Does it actually save me time, right? If the answer is no, or like I'm not sure what this even does, then I would say that's a very easy, just go ahead and delete. And then the other thing that I would say within the delete is like delete one app at a time. And I would say after each deletion, just kind of wait a good 24 hours. And then what I would tell you is like just rerun your score, just to see how each app is actually costing you, right, in the performance and the load time of your store. And then the other thing that you can do as you're deleting apps, or maybe thinking about, you're like, okay, yeah, I do need these 3 apps, is, can we consolidate this? Is there an app out there that could do those 3 things in just one app, right? Or I think nowadays is like, could I delete one of these apps and could I have Claude Code, for example, rebuild some options for that, right? I see a lot of you that have apps that only do one thing, and that's like maybe you have that free shipping bar at the very top. That's something that I would say absolutely delete. That's something that Claude Code can essentially just generate for you and even do something even better than what the app can offer. Again, this process of cutting apps and seeing how it's affecting with the Google PageSpeed, it's a little bit time consuming, but I think it's super, super powerful. And like I said, it's not something that you do every month, or I would say maybe every quarter, or maybe once or twice a year, right? You're assessing, you're trying to figure out, making sure that you're removing things and cleaning, and they come up with new apps every single day, and Claude Code is just getting better and better. So eventually, honestly, like you may run a stack of maybe 4 or 5 apps, and the rest is kind of handled by Claude Code, and just a very powerful theme overall. And again, stores that are going through this process will be cutting 30-40% of their app fees. And also, you should see your page speed, that performance score really, you should see that go up by 10, 15, 25 points. And these are not vanity metrics. These are things that truly do matter for the customer. They truly matter for Google in general, just to make sure that they're sending people to a website that is performing well, and that is doing the right things and kind of playing by the rules, right? How using the best practices. If you are a clothing brand owner and you want this kind of stuff, right? These audits done for you or with you, I would say the very first thing, right, in order to work with us is to do our free strategy call. It takes about 30-45 minutes, and you can find a link in the description below to find a time that works for you, and we'll get you on our calendar. Now, I want you to tell me in the comments below, which app did you actually delete today? I would love to hear which ones you guys are getting rid of. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, hit like, subscribe, and we do have a bunch of other app videos, so check this one out here on some premium apps that I think every store should have. See you there.